In 2011, I got my first software development job at Sage Metrics. They call them Just Make Communication. I wasn't having a BSc then, so I was called in. I got the interview. I got the job. Then a couple of months into the job, I moved to Ghana to study information technology, bachelor degree in information technology. That's where I met Ahmed Salifo, and since then we've connected since then, and we've been doing great things together. So I graduated from Blue Crest College in information technology. I came back to Nigeria for my youth service, and from then I've been from one company to the other. I also worked back then in Ghana. I think I worked with FINA Trade Group of Company. I lecture in NIT Ghana. There is also InCharge Global, somewhere in Accra Post. I also work as intermediate software developer writing ETL code for some financial prediction software back then in Legon. So it's been a wonderful ride. Yeah, it's been a wonderful ride. Thank you very much. Let me cap it there, and then we'll move on from there. Yeah, thank you, Ahmed. You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah. I think Sylvia, no, cannot hear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear you perfectly well, Ahmed. I can hear you. Okay, if they can hear me, it's fine. Yeah, if they can hear me, it's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. They can also drop questions. You can look out for questions, and then you can relay that back to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. For the presentation in the middle of the screen, you can let me see if I can double click that to put that in full screen mode. Yeah. From my side here, let me see if I can. Okay. All right. Exit. Yeah. Okay. Let me try some. Okay. Um. Okay. So you can also put your screen in full screen mode. So okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining this this great session. Um, it's gonna be short, but I need to confirm that everybody can hear me. I can see Nasadine can't hear. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So let me switch to my PC sound. So guys, can you hear me
Okay.
now? Nessa?
Yeah, for me, I can still hear you.
Okay. So please let us know if you can hear us, okay? So we can hear each other here as it is now. We can hear each other. So we are now concerned about you guys hearing us.
Yes, okay. So
Yes, I
Sylvia
can hear
can
you.
hear.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, great.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So
That's fine.
thank you so much. So we can move on since everybody can hear us. All right, Chef Farid, please carry on with your message.
All, all right. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, guys, for joining this live session.
great.
I want to say you guys are really appreciated, and then the time and the effort that you are putting into the learning is never a waste. I'm going to make this very short. I'm sure you have a lot of questions on your mind. Those questions will be taken at the end of the session, and then we're going to answer them one after the other. So, I've been given the topic career guide in software, career guide for software engineers. And then it's a very broad question. It's not a thing we can treat all at once in a single session.
Sure.
But I'll try and talk to Ahmed.
Yeah,
We are going to be having this kind of session every now and then, maybe probably once a month.
yeah,
We'll carry everybody along. We check on you to make sure that you are making the right decision and then guide you where necessary.
great.
So for today, I'm going to commence with, if you look at the introduction page, you see there's career advice to new tech rookie. It's in bold color. The number two, three, and four is gray out. So this two through four is out of the scope of this talk. So
Okay.
let's get into the main thing, right?
Yeah,
So, as a software engineer, as a software developer, or as an IT professional, what are the things that are involved in you scaling your career from 0 to 10?
sure.
What are the things that you need to do to scale your career from 0 to 10? And then everything in between this 0 and 10, it's not going to be easy.
Sure.
Life is not fair. If you have to get a book and write down a couple of things. Life is not fair. It wasn't fair yesterday. It's not going to be fair today, and it's not going to be fair tomorrow.
Sure.
It wasn't, it isn't, and it will not be. We just have to keep moving. So the process of keeping the process in which you want to keep moving, attending this session is one of the process in which you have decided to keep moving regardless.
Sure.
I remember back then in school, we struggled to eat 3 square meal. We struggled to even eat 1 square meal.
It's not
You
easy.
know, yeah. Ahmed will be boiling rice with boiling ring, and then the whole house is very heat up. No time to breathe, no space to breathe, no
Serious,
ventilation.
serious.
But look at where he is today. His current position today is quite easier than yesterday.
Sure.
But still today, when you ask Ahmed, is everything completely easy for you? He will tell you no, it's not still completely easy. Even if it has been easier today, even if it wasn't easy yesterday, and it's a bit easier today. You know, we couldn't afford data bundle then, but
Yeah.
we can afford it now.
Yeah.
You see? So let's move on in our quest to understanding and then positioning ourselves in the right path in this field of information technology. Now, when you want to build your career in the field of technology, you need to understand how to build a growth mindset. The first thing is to build a growth mindset. Now, what is a growth mindset? A growth mindset is a mindset that has positive mental attitude and is willing to change or to accept change and then hit the ground running with the new development. So first of all, for you to build a growth mindset, you need to embrace challenge. You see, treat every problem as an opportunity to grow your skill rather than rather than something to avoid. Every opportunity, take it as a way to grow your skill.
Yeah.
Everything is not going to come your way the way you plan it. Things are not going to come your way the way you want it. But when life throws rock at you, how do you pick up the stones and then use it to build a house? You see, so seek out difficult projects that will push you to learn new technology and concepts. So recently we have a project in our office, and the project is a bit huge. So we decided to use the normal Node.js to develop the project, but the architecture is going to be CQRS architecture. I haven't done CQRS, that is command query responsibility segregation in
Yeah.
Node.js.
Yeah.
So I pick up a couple of things online, and then I'm like, if I start reading this article on CQRS, I'm not going to implement CQRS. So I pick up something, and then while I read about it, I'm developing the project. So I'm going to try an error, try this error until I get it done.
Wow.
So that is to tell you that you need to seek difficult projects that is going to build your mental capability, your mental stamina. So when you pick up difficult tasks, your brain will automatically adjust to what? To learning new things faster. Now, another way to embrace a growth mindset is to view setback as a learning opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when you are faced with failure or mistakes, focus on what you can learn from them instead of dwelling on the negative. Reflect on how you can improve in the future. There is a wise saying from someone that says that I don't regret things I do. I only regret things I don't do. So does it mean that everything you do is perfect? No.
No.
There are some things you do that are just 100% blunder and mistake. Do you regret it? No. Did you learn from it? Yes. So learn from your setbacks and mistake. You are going to be making a whole lot of mistake in the course of your development. You are going to be making a whole lot of mistake when you are deciding which company to work for. You are going to be making a whole lot of mistakes when you want to decide which tech stack should I learn next. Everybody is switching to Go programming language and Rust, and then you are like, okay, let me join the bandwagon and learn Go. Is it profitable in Ghana? Is it profitable in this part of Africa? So learning it is not a problem, but you realize that, man, this technology is not useful for me. Are you going to regret it? No, don't regret it. You are going to learn from your mistake, and you use that to adjust the decisions you'll be making in future.
Great.
So that brings me to my third point. Seek continuous feedback. Communication is key when you are trying to build your career growth. You are working with Ahmed. Ahmed is your superior at work. At the end of the at the end of the month, or at the end of each quarter, do an inventory assessment of your performance yourself. Ask for feedback from your manager. Ask for feedback from your team lead. How am I doing? Do you think I'm performing to your optimal expectation? Seek feedback from them. That's one of the ways in which you can build a growth mindset. Anybody who wants to grow doesn't assume he or she knows everything. If you assume you know everything, you wouldn't come to Lance Course Boot Camp in the first place.
Yeah.
So, another way by which you can foster a growth mindset is for you to be curious. Curiosity kill a cat. Yes, it
Yes.
doesn't kill a man
At all. It
at
grows the
all.
man. It grows the man, man.
Yeah, yes. Curiosity can only kill a cat, but
Yeah.
it builds a man. Be curious to learn. When I'm learning something and I come across a terminology I don't understand, I stop I stop where I am currently at. I take that terminology, I Google it, I learn that terminology. I don't have to be 100% all soaked up in learning it. What does this term means? You know, I remember I think in Ghana, I was the one who built the software for NIT Ghana
Sure.
to take PMP certification, PMP exam. I remember back then, I think Sujita Prakash was still the head of that center, the one in Ring Road Center.
Yeah.
So yeah, he came to me and said, we have PMP training from I think revenue something something in Ghana, and then they need to write the PMP mock test before they write the professional one from Prince 2 or Project Management Institute. So they needed a software, a CBT software.
Wow.
So I started developing the software. I remember I was sleeping in the in one of the classrooms back then. And when it comes to printing the results, I had issue printing results. So we were using WinForm, Microsoft.NET, C Sharp,
Yeah.
and then someone came and said, "I've used Bull Print before." I don't know what Bull Print is. So that guy's name is Sirno. So I started googling about bold print, how to integrate it in .NET C Sharp, and that's what I use at the end of the day. He just
Wow.
mentioned it casually. So that is what curiosity can cause. You need to be
Yes.
curious. Even in your marriage, in your personal life, you need to be curious. You started feeling some lumps in front of your head, you just feel lousy about it, that it is normal. No, you need to be curious about it. What's going on with me? What is causing that lump in front of my forehead? You know, that's curiosity. You need to cultivate an habit of curiosity if you want to really excel in this field of technology. Now, another way to foster a very a growth mindset is to celebrate incremental progress, because you are not yet at the level where you expect yourself to be. You are not yet at
Yeah.
Ahmed's level. You are not yet at your manager's level. It doesn't mean you shouldn't celebrate the little win. The very
That's it.
first time I developed an HTML page was in the same 2009 Mastermind Series course in NIT.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
developed an HTML. The mistake I did then was I did not save that thing in my Google Drive. The HTML page was just a simple page, black background, white text, and three menu: home, about us, contact
Contact
us.
us.
And then yeah, you use Ahref anchor tag to
Yeah.
navigate between the pages. Man, I was jumping around for the whole of the evening. I developed a web page. So my uncle back then was like, "Wow, this is great." As at then, internet isn't
That common. Yeah.
this elaborate,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think what the best website you see then were websites that were developed using Adobe
Yeah.
Flash
Yes.
or Dreamweaver
Dreamweaver.
or
Yeah.
things like that. So there's been a lot of transition in the tech space. So I celebrated my win. It's a little win. I celebrated it. My brain feel happy. So you celebrate your little win. If you're able to learn a particular terminology, if you're able to learn a particular framework,
let's say you pick up Tailwind CSS, you want to learn it, and you're able to learn it very well. Celebrate it. Take time out. Take care of yourself in celebrating that win. Even if it's a meat pie, even if it's just meat pie or kelewele you buy for yourself. You know, that's it. Surround yourself with learning focused community. Surround yourself with like-minded people. So there's a saying that states that if you are working, if you are a friend, if you are in the middle of your friends, and then 50% of your friends are millionaires, you are going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
It's just the kind of people you surround yourself with, the mindset of the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
If you are three friends, two of them are idiots, you are the third idiot. You don't need anybody to tell you that. So if you are walking around with senior software engineers, tech leads, people who are managers, who are managing tech team and all of that, trust me, you are already in the path of becoming one. So surround yourself with, learning focused community. Make friends with people who are already what you want to be. Whatever you want to be in life, it is very easy. Think about what you want to be, look for someone to emulate, and be friends with them. And very soon you will start acting like one, you start behaving like one, you start thinking like one, and then you will be one. You get?
Yeah.
So that takes us to the second slide, which is navigating the first job that you're going to get. The first slide talks about the first slide talks about how to build a growth mindset. Now, you have a growth mindset. You surround yourself with community of like-minded people. No, you seek continuous feedback when you're learning. You cultivate curiosity to learn new things. You embrace challenge, and now you are ready for your first assignment. You are ready for your first job. I remember on my first day at work, I didn't know what to do. I just came. I've been given employment letter. I resumed on the 1st of September. It was my birthday. So I came to the office. I just sat down. The AC was blasting my head. My laptop was open, and then I don't know what to do. My manager, I've never met him before. I don't know him. The CEO, I only met him once during my interview. My colleagues, everything was new to me. That's the first time I'll be leaving school space, family space to workspace. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to communicate with them, so I just kept my cool. Ahmed, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm following up. Keep it up.
Okay, so I
Yes.
just I just kept my cool.
Guys, kindly
So,
confirm too if you can hear us. So I'm just
all right.
giving him enough time so that he can expose all the truth to you guys, right? No interruption. So please
Okay.
carry on.
Okay, so I
Yes.
just kept my cool, and then the following day they gave me a document that this is what I'll be building. Do you know my first project at my first workplace was to build a GPS tracking application.
Wow.
And then they gave me an Hyundai car to connect the GPS tracker to. They didn't give me the car to be driving around or to take home. No, it's just for me to connect it to it. A driver will drive it around and I'll be able to track it. I
Wow.
can I can never forget the name of the tracker we use. It was an Amphora tracker F115. It uses a SIM card slot and it uses AT&T command.
Wow.
That is the first time I heard about AT&T command. They never taught me AT&T command back
In
in
the
school.
school.
I'm hearing
That is
about
it.
AT&T command first on my job. So what did I have to do? I had to go and learn AT&T command.
Wow.
That is curiosity that we were talking about in the previous slides.
Yes.
I had to go and learn AT&T command. Now, how do I communicate with the device from an ASP.NET application using AT&T command? How will this command transport itself, or how would I, how would I project the AT&T command from the application over HTTP or HTTPS? Which was crazy, but I was able to get it done. We used Google Map back then. Google Map doesn't have this crazy licensing they have now.
Yeah.
It was kind of free then. We integrated Google Map with it, and then you can track all of those things. It was exciting for me. So my first salary, I enjoyed myself. I ate Chinese. I went out with friends. I even went clubbing, just to celebrate it. So, how do you now navigate your first job? How do you navigate your first job? You're at work, you don't know who to trust. Who do you confide in? Who do you talk to? Who can you open up to? Let me give you an advice. Wherever you find yourself in this life, either in a family space, maybe you are married to a new family, or in a workspace, you are joining a new company, or a new community, or you're moving to a new street or a new area, a new house. Just be a good person. That is the most
That's
important
all.
thing. Just be a good person. Whatever you are not asked, don't answer. Whatever doesn't concern you, don't get yourself involved. Just be a good person and be willing to do to others what you want done to yourself.
It's simple.
Yeah. Be willing to do to others what you want done to yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't want something done to you, don't do it to others. I've known Ahmed for a very long time now,
Yes.
and then I don't think we've had any disputes whatsoever. It's not because we are perfect. It's just because he trade with me with caution and I trade with him with caution.
Absolutely.
You know, what I don't want him to do to me, I will not do it to him.
Yeah.
So empathy. So the first thing when you are joining a new company or you're in your first job, either a startup, a small business, a medium scale business, or a conglomerate, a very big business, learn the organizational culture. Learn the company's culture. It is very, very
Very important.
important. The company's culture is equivalent to the character of your friend. I'm making a friend with you for the first time. I need to know what are the things that you like, what are the things you don't like, what are your boundaries. Learn your company's culture. What are the organizational culture? What are the values of the organization? What are the things that when you do them, the organization is going to give you thumbs up and say, bravo, you are doing well. Observe how your team and the company operate. Understand the work environment, communication norms, team dynamics to integrate smoothly into the organization. Some organizations foster master kind of architecture. Some are slave architecture. When I mean slave, I don't mean slave in the quotation of a slave. Your manager and you, there's no difference between the both of you in some organizations. Some of them don't operate hierarchical kind of organizational structure. They operate flat organization structure. I've seen some organization when you come very early, you can sit where your manager sat yesterday. Nobody own a desk to themselves.
Wow.
Nobody own a seat to themselves. No, that's it. So because you are employed as a senior software developer, you sat here today, and a junior is sitting here today. You think you can chase him away? No. Look for the culture of the organization. If the organization fosters such thing, you can do that. If they don't do it. Yeah, don't do it.
Simple.
Now, when you're joining a company for the first time, ask question early and often. Ask question very early and often. The current organization I work for, there's nothing like Mr. or Mrs. We call our MD by name.
Wow.
Yeah, that is one of their
It's
strong culture.
interesting.
So that when you are interacting with your MD, you won't start murmuring and stammering because you are looking for the right respect connotation to be attached to
Yeah.
his name. So just address him by name. Talk to him as if you are brothers. Talk to him as if you are friends. He will come and sit with you where you are seated. We call him by name. Now, one of those ways to also succeed when you get your first job is to take ownership of the task that has been given to you.
Wow.
I am also how would I say it? I've been a victim of this. We are working on a project. We have a front end developer. We have a back end developer. We have a database administrator, and we have DevOps. And then I'm a backend engineer. I developed the authentication and authorization endpoint. The front end guy integrates the authentication and authorization endpoint,
Yeah.
and he realizes that when he passes negative data to my endpoint, it works. It's not supposed to work. We are supposed to do front-end validation and back-end validation. And then during our stand-up call every morning, they are like, the QA said this thing is not working. I said I've done my own part of the job. That is not the way a team should operate. If you and I were asked to sweep the room and mop the room, if I sweep it and you fail to mop it, if our parent comes back and see that the room is dirty because it has not been mopped, I shouldn't go to them and say, I did my own part of the job. I sweep it. It's Ahmed that did not mop. That's not team spirit.
That is it. We all failed.
That is not. We all failed.
Yeah.
And I've started raising kids. That's one of those things I instill in them. When I ask the two of you to do something, it's a logical operator. It's an AND operator. If the left condition fails, everything fails. You understand?
Yeah.
If the both condition is true, everything passes.
Passes.
So when I ask you guys to iron my clothes, why is the cloth not iron? If you tell me I've done my own part of the job, no, I'm not listening to that. The both of you need to get the job done.
Yes.
Take ownership of the responsibilities that has been given to you. Show initiative by taking responsibility for your assignment. This demonstrates accountability. This demonstrates discipline. This demonstrates integrity and helps you to grow faster. One of the best ways I've grown faster in this field of technology, I wish I knew this earlier in my career. I just started knowing that in my career right now, is for you to take ownership and responsibility of what has been given to you.
Yeah.
The assignment and the task that has been assigned to you, take ownership of it. You see, my line manager used to tell me something that sticks with me up to this point. He used to tell me, Farouk, you have not completed this task. Just imagine your dad is the owner of this company, and they come to tell you that there is one of your staff named Farouk. He has not delivered his own part of the task that has been given to him for the past 2 weeks. How would you feel? Would you sack him? I said yes. He says, you see, so if you report yourself to the management and tell the management to sack you.
Interesting question and trap.
You understand? So when you take ownership of what has been given to you, you see that you automatically start to excel in anything you do. Let me tell you, if you want to move up the ladder in the corporate information technology space, let me give you a secret. Apart from taking ownership of whatever has been given to you, you need to have a positive mental attitude.
Sure.
You need to have a positive mental attitude. Keep your cool every time. Be willing to share your knowledge. Be willing to lend helping hand to others. This thing has taken me places. It has given me a lot of jobs, a lot of contracts.
Interesting.
Be willing to help others to grow. There are people that will be assigned to you for you to mentor. Be willing to help them. Take your time and assume they don't know anything. Help them. So when anything is given to you, even if it's just to develop a single web page, take ownership of it. Communicate about it. Sir, I'm going to delay from the delivery of this project tomorrow. I'm asking for a 24 hours extension to deliver it next tomorrow. Don't tell me that on the morning of delivery. Tell me 2 days before so that I can also manage the management expectations. Document your learning. Have a book. I have my book here. And this is the book here. I use it to document everything I learn. I write it down. When I need to learn something new, I jot it there. Document it. Go through it. Anything that you want to learn and you want it to stick to your brain, you need to write it down.
Wow.
Back then in NIT, there is a section of our book in every quarter. They call it information search and analysis skill. Those who went through the mastermind series from NIT would understand what I'm saying. There is a question at the back of that book that says, if we live in an information age, why are we less informed?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if we live in an information age, why are we less informed? And the answer is because of information scatter.
Yeah.
And I Google what information scatter is. There is a lot of information everywhere. There is practically nothing you ask Google and Google will not have answers for.
Sport.
And then you are reading off from Google, you are not writing it down. Our brain tends to remember things that we write down.
Yes.
Document your learning. Document your learning.
Wonderful.
Another thing is be adaptive. I'm going to give you a typical example of that. When I joined the company I'm currently working with right now, where I'm coming from, we do a lot of .NET code and Java. I don't mean JavaScript, I mean
Java.
object-oriented Java.
Yeah.
So all our projects we use .NET, we use C Sharp, we use MVP for the front end, either MVC for the front end, either ASP.NET or ASP.NET MVC. And then for our Java project, we use JavaFX for the web. We use we use JavaFX for the Windows application. We use JSP for the web, and we use either Java SE or Java EE for the backend. So when I got to this company, they put me under the product engineering unit, and that unit has been tasked with developing cloud native application. And for you to develop cloud native application, you need to use dynamic languages like Python, like Node, things like that.
Yeah.
I have never used Node before, and then they put me in the middle of this project. The project has about 9 to 10 microservices, 9 to 10 databases, Postgres databases that the microservices are connecting to, and then it's going to be used by enterprise organization like financial institution, banks, and all of those things. Do you know that in 1 month, I learned TypeScript, I learned Node, I learned Nest.js, and I
Wow.
learned microservice.
Wow. That must
That
have
is,
been a
yeah,
very tedious
that
moment.
is adaptability. Exactly. That is adaptability. I find it very easy to learn TypeScript because I'm coming from C Sharp and Java background.
Yes. You are used to types.
So we are using TypeScript. Exactly. We are using TypeScript in the Node environment, but the company say for you to write Node code, there are a lot of mistakes you'll be making. So they want to use an established framework. So we started using Nest.js. I had to learn Nest.js within 1 month, and we delivered the application.
Wow.
But I was looking at the source code. You wanted to ask something, Ahmed?
No, I'm listening.
Okay. I was looking at the source code of that project I wrote 3 years ago. I'm like, man, if I'm giving this project today, I will not write it like this.
There's
How
absolutely
can I?
that's it.
Yeah.
How could
How
I
can I do this mistake?
write this?
Yeah. Why did I not follow solid principle here? But
Good.
nonetheless, the application works.
Exactly.
Adaptability. You should be able to adapt. You join a company where their go-to language is Python. You did not come to create the company. The company has been existing. They employ you to come and do some job for them. You can't go there and then change the way things work. What are they currently using? Python. Come on, pick it up and learn. You never can tell. That might be what is going to bring you to limelight.
Wow.
So that takes us to our next page, which is how do you craft a tech career roadmap? How
Good.
do you craft a tech career roadmap? The owner of Alibaba, John
Jack Ma.
Chasma, what's it called?
Jack Ma,
yeah. Yeah. Jack Ma said, in your early 20s, work for a company that is a startup.
Yes.
A company that you'll be doing a lot of things at the same time. You are the front end, you are the back end, you are the one normalizing database, you are the one developing CI/CD pipeline for the DevOps, you are the one logging on to the server to see if it is online or offline. You are the one doing the deployment, you are the one doing SRS, software requirement specification, you are the one developing the PR, the functional requirement document, you are the one doing the flow chart for every screens on your application. You are the one doing this. It helps you to build your mental stamina. When you're doing a whole lot of things at the same time, it helps you to build your mental stamina.
Yes.
You are not joining Microsoft. Microsoft is already established. When you join them, they will just tell you, change this color from yellow to blue,
Simple.
change this one from blue to red, and that's all you'll be doing, and you collect your money and you think you're working. It's not helping you mentally.
Yeah.
I've left a company before Ahmed has come to meet me at my previous company in Awolowo Road in Ikoyi. I left that company because they were paying me salary, and for a long time, I'm not increasing, I'm not developing, I'm not growing.
Sure.
Intellectually, I'm not growing. I'm not writing new certification, no new challenge, nothing to challenge me. I left there, even though they were paying me salary. I had to leave. I need challenge.
Mm.
There was a study conducted at the University of Melbourne, Australia, I think. They said people die quicker when they stop learning.
Indeed.
Yeah, people
Indeed.
die faster when they stop learning.
Yeah.
When you retire at the age of 60, pick up a new niche, pick up a new career, pick up something new. Our brain develops every day and start learning new things. You see, if you are not sick or anything, you will live longer because
Yes.
you are hoping for something, you are looking up to something new every day.
Hmm.
So now,
Interesting.
how do you now craft your tech career roadmap? You need to take a self-assessment of yourself. Identify your strengths, your interests, and your weakness. I have realized over a long period of time that if I were to be, if I were to be maybe a QA engineer, it might not be fulfilling for me. It might
Wow.
not be fulfilling for me. Yeah. I figured out that if I was just going to be a business analyst, it's not going to be fulfilling for me. I love challenges. I love to think. I love it when my brain tickles. There's a way you start learning to a point, your brain will start telling you that, guy, slow down, slow down, slow down. You are going too fast. It will start whining you somehow. Those are the kind of feel I like. That's why I love software engineering. I love database engineering. I love DevOps, cloud, things that challenges me. So you need to do a self-assessment of yourself. Are you good with managing people? Are you good with managing projects? Do you like to be the one to do the dirty job? Are you good with database? Do you think you understand things better if it is tabulated for you? You need to do a self-assessment of yourself. We are not all going to be software engineers.
Sure.
You can transition from being a software engineer to being a software architect. You can be
Yes.
an architect without being an engineer. You just need a very good person to coach you.
That
You
is,
understand?
yeah.
Yeah, you can be a product manager without being a software engineer. You just need a very good person to coach you. Are you good with drafting project roadmap for a software project? Are you good with drawing the architecture, the logical architecture, the deployment architecture, the software architecture of a project? Do a self-assessment. What resonates well with me? Write it down. Now, if you have been able to identify that, the next thing you need to do is how do I now get someone in that field, someone who is already doing what I want to do? How do I learn from that person? You can be working in a company and still be a student of knowledge with another person.
Yes.
It is allowed. So, the next thing you need to do, you need to set a long term career goal. A lot of people failed in this field of technology when they go for the money.
Yeah.
This company is paying 500,000 Ghana cedis for interns. This company is paying 200,000 Ghana cedis for intermediate engineer. And when you spend 2 years there, you are not learning anything. You are not learning anything new. In 2 years, some people will grow faster than you if they were working in a startup companies that they are doing a lot of things together. So the first stage of your career is for you to work in a place where you do a lot of things. So what do you learn? The second stage of your career is who is your leader? Who is your manager? Who is managing you? Because you've learned the technical skill, you need to learn how to manage. Who is managing you? Who are you emulating? Who is your manager? You need to learn that. And then the third stage of your career, you give out. You give out. You've learned how to manage people, you've learned how to develop projects. Now you need to give it out to people that are coming behind you.
Mm.
You need to give it out. You need to give it out. John D. Rockefeller said, I spent the first quarter of my lifetime learning. The second quarter I spend it earning, and the last quarter I spend it giving.
Wow.
You need to give. You need someone to mentor. You need someone to to teach. You can't die with those knowledge. You can't die with those experience. You can't die with them. Even God, even God will not be happy with you. You need to give it
Absolutely.
out.
Yes.
So when you set out your long-term goal or career goal, what do you want to be in the next 10 years? In the next 10 years, I want to be maybe a CTO, chief technology officer of the biggest company in Ghana. Okay, that's fine. How do you get there? Are you going to go and kill the current one that is occupying that position? No. You now set short-term achievable goals. For me to be a CTO, I need to have communication skill. I need to have delegation skill. I need to have people management skill. I need to have technical skill. So let me learn the technical skill. So what do I have to learn? I want to be a full stack person. I want to be a back end person. I want to be a front end person. So to be a full stack guy, what do I need? I need to learn PHP. I need to learn VB. I need to learn C Sharp. I need to learn Java. To learn Java, which part of Java? What is this Spring Boot? You need to write it down. If you don't write it down, you will be wasting your time. You need to write it down. Set short-term achievable goals. You are done with your boot camp in Lance course, right? What do you want to achieve in the next 1 month? Okay, I want to understand this, I want to understand this, I want to understand this. Learn it, use it, take a pet project, use it on it, and then you move on to your next goal. You need to have a goal that you look up to every day. I never woke up a day and I don't know what to do with my day. It has never happened.
Lie.
I In the last 10 years, I have never seen a day I wake up and I don't know what I'm going to do. I have never seen it. Last year, I think I was in Ghana with my family on December break. As I was on break, I was writing code. I was with my laptop. Yeah, I was with my laptop. So
No sleep for the
never, never,
developer.
never go. Yeah, that is it. Never go to bed a day without learning something new. When you are on your bed, you want to sleep for the night, take an inventory of yourself. What did I learn today? What did I achieve today? What goal did I set yesterday for today that I have achieved? You should be ashamed of going to bed without achieving your day goal. One of the goals I set out to achieve today is to talk to you guys. I'm achieving that right now. It's one of my goals for today. Learn and adapt. You're learning a framework, you're learning a technology. While learning that technology, a new technology has come that supersedes that. Adapt and learn it. When I was in school, I learned SQL Server 2000. To install SQL Server 2000, you need a compact disk, about 3 compact disks. It is a pain in the ass to install SQL Server 2000. There's a service on your taskbar that you have to play to start the project, to start the service. You have to go and check this and check that. In the middle of that, SQL Server 2005 came out, and then I'm like, man, I'm not done learning 2000, and 2005 is out. And then while I was thinking 2008 is already out, and I'm like, this thing is not for me. I'm dropping this thing. It's not meant for me. But what do I have to do? I have to learn it anyway. I have to adapt. That is it. I have to adapt. Things have changed. You keep learning. You keep learning. I
Yes.
subscribe to a lot of news feeds that tells me latest thing. Google News feeds, Stack Overflow news feeds. A lot of those guys, they keep feeding me with the kind of information I want to see every day. So when a new technology comes out and is breaking, I'm getting it in my inbox. I don't have to be an expert in it. I just click on the link, I go read about it, and now I know about it. Track your progress and reflect regularly. Take an inventory assessment of all the goals you have set for yourself for the day, for the week, and for the month. Take an inventory of it. Tick it on your book. Are you doing well or you're not doing well? Be honest with yourself. So the second to the last is for you to build your network. There is noise feedback coming from you, Ahmed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you continue. Let me try to solve it.
Okay. So build your professional network. Network with people.
All right.
Let me tell
Are
you,
we good?
one of the greatest, yeah, is better.
All right.
One of the greatest assets you can have around you are people. People.
Yeah.
There's a reason God did not create only Adam. There's a reason. There's a reason God did not create only Adam and Eve, if you believe in any of those things. There's a reason why God did not just create only them. It's for us to coexist and then interact, communicate within ourselves. You need to build your network. Nobody is a waste. Nobody is a waste. Your gardener at home or your gateman at home has a purpose. It's useful. Would you come down from your car and open your gate and then drive in and then go and close your gate? When you have a stressful day, you will know that guy is very useful. You would have called him 2 miles away. I'm on my way back. You need to open the gate down. You know that guy is useful. Everybody is useful.
Yes.
Everybody is useful. Yeah. They are just useful for us in different ways. Build a network of people. When you meet people, have positive mental attitude. When you meet them, talk to them with kindness. Tell them what you want. You'll be very surprised when you ask people about what you want, the way they are going to do it for you. When you want to learn something new, you see somebody who already knows that thing. Ah, hello, Charlie. You already know this thing and I would like to learn it. At your very convenience time, I would like to come around to learn from you. I don't mind coming around for you to teach me. Whatever is going to cost me, you let me know. I remember back then, just because I want to learn how to format a system with Windows XP, I'll go get the job. I'll give it to a guy called Michael Randy. That guy was attending Aptech back in Abuja then. I will sit behind Michael Randy. He will format a system and I'll give the money to him. I will take it to the customer and say I'm done. The customer doesn't know who did it. So I collected about maybe 5 or 6, and then before you know, customer is happy, Michael Randy is happy, and then subsequent one I started collecting it myself.
You're happy as well.
Yes, I started collecting it myself. Now I know how to do it. The Windows XP key I crammed that time, I still have it in my memory till now.
Wow.
So, build network of people. Michael Randy, I met him back then, maybe in 2007. He called me sometime last week for a job.
Wow.
Did he do, yeah, did he wrong me in any way, shape or form during the time of our friendship when we were together? Yes, he did. Did I hurt him too? Yes. We settle our differences and we still connect every day. Ahmed is talking to me from Ghana. He came to Nigeria recently. We talk. Imagine I've done something wrong to him when we were in Ghana. So if he's in Nigeria, we'll start chasing ourselves with cutlass. Admit you, I wouldn't go to Ghana. So do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So the last time I came, you know that mommy that I have in Jolu, she
Yes.
cooked for me,
Wow.
my wife, cooked for my daughter, I had
Interesting.
free of charge because
Mashallah.
I created very good network with them.
Indeed. Indeed.
So focus on your soft skill. Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to address people with respect. You'll be surprised that most times when people are hiring for a role, they know there are a lot of developers out there. All of you
Yes.
have gone to Lance course. You have learned something. You are going to code with Mosh. You've learned on YouTube. You've learned on Udemy. You've learned
Yes.
on Pluralsight. All of you are now developer. What would differentiate you
You.
from other developer is your
Yes.
positive mental attitude.
Hmm.
Is your positive mental attitude. That is what would differentiate you from Ahmed. You have
Indeed.
the skill, Ahmed have the skill, Farouk have the skill, Kwame have the skill, Kweku have the skill. All of you have the skill in Ghana.
Yes.
So what would differentiate you from other people is your positive mental attitude. How do you address people? Do you treat people with respect? Do you value people's opinion? Do you value people's suggestion? You are in the middle of a team. You are in a team. Someone suggested something just because that person is your subordinate. You are superior to that person. You think that person's input is not valid. There's a way to dismiss invalid suggestion.
Hmm.
You can tell them, yeah, this suggestion is welcome. We'll look into it and see if it fits into what we need to do. I appreciate that guy. Give them a handshake or a hug. By that, they will feel they are part of the team, and then their suggestion is also taken note of, even though you're not going to use it. Have a positive mental attitude. That is what is going to differentiate you from every other developer out there. So that takes us to our next slide. The power of networking. In our previous slide, there's a part that speaks about networking. Build your network.
Yeah.
Now, what is the power of networking? According to Forbes, the feedback noise is coming back from you again, Ahmed.
Oh. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's a bit okay now.
I think it is the fan.
So, okay.
Yeah, carry on, please.
Okay. So there was a recent conducted research, I think in the United States. They said entry-level tech job, 70% of entry-level tech job are gotten by application. Managerial level tech job, 99% of them are gotten via referrals. There are some level you get to in this field of technology. You will not be sending your CV helter skelter again. Somebody will refer you for the job. Someone has to refer you for the job. There are some jobs that are out there that the job owner did not ask anybody to submit CV. They will tell their friends, do you have somebody you can refer to me who is going to be our CTO for our new project? We are coming up with a new startup company, and I need someone who has worked in that space before. Can you refer me someone? There's power in referral. If you don't know, go and know today. There's power in referral. Because you're already a friend to another friend that knows somebody that needs your service.
Wow.
So how do you now network? How do you create healthy network of people in your space? Attend tech meetups and conferences. When you attend those tech meetup and conferences, have a small card that speaks about you. Maybe a small card that has a shortened URL to your LinkedIn profile, a shortened URL to your GitHub profile, a shortened URL to your Bitbucket profile. Something you can hand over to them and say, I'm at your service anytime, you can call me. I'm a tech rookie. I'll be glad to pick up any project. I don't have to be paid for it. Do you know how people are going to welcome you?
Wow.
You will not start earning more than your peers in this life until you do more than you are paid for. I stole that saying from Jim Rohn. He said, you will not start making more than you want to make until you do more than you are being paid for. You pay me to clean your room. After cleaning your room, I didn't just leave at cleaning your room. I lay your beds for you. I fix the pillows in place. I clean up your shoe rack. I dust the cobwebs. And then you come, you're like, man, you have done more than I've paid you for. You say it's nothing. I just have to do more than I've been paid for. When you get your first job, do more than you are being paid for. Go the extra mile. Go the extra mile. Do more than you are being paid for. Go the extra mile to get the job done. We employed a guy recently. We were hiring for front-end developers and we got 7 applicants. All of them are doing well. And we give them a task from Figma. There's a Figma design and then we give them the task and they all submitted and they all did well. And my boss asked me that, look at each and every one of their tasks. They hosted it on Render, some of them on Netlify. Look for the one who did more than we asked them to do. And there's a guy, Kodri. He did all the menu. When you collapse the menu, it will collapse. When you expand it, it will expand. Even the pages that are not on the Figma page, he did it. And
Wow.
that was the guy we employed. And we never regretted employing that guy. You have to go the extra mile. So leverage on the social connection platforms that we have. Leverage LinkedIn. You can leverage LinkedIn to create to connect with new people.
Facebook, X, all of those things. You can use them to your advantage. Build relationship and not transaction. Someone gave you a job and you have already built them that the job is going to cost $1,000. You are done with the job, they've given you $500. And then the guy is saying that they are into a financial crisis right now. You are done with the job, but they will not be able to pay you the remaining $500. So take this $200, deploy the application for us, and then give us 3 months to pay you back. Deploy it and give it to them. Deploy it and give it to them, because if it's laying on your computer, nobody is benefiting from it. They have clients that are going to access it. They are going to build their clients for the job, and they will get money from them to pay you. Give it to them and let them go. You'll be surprised as to what this small atom of favor, sacrifice that you did for them is going to bring back to you. That's it. Follow up and stay in touch with people.
Indeed.
There's feedback that is coming from you, Ahmed.
I can hear you well.
Okay. So follow up with people and stay in touch. I recently traveled to Kenya for a project, and then I met a couple of guys for the first time. So every night we hang out, we talk, we gist and all of that. When I go back to Nigeria, I text them, "How is your family? How are you doing today?" Every Monday I tell them, "This is a new week, go get the bag. This is a new week, go succeed on that project." And then 2 days ago he called me that Kenya, Communication Authority of Kenya, they are bidding for a project there. How will I develop the software if I were to be given the software to do? I said, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And inshallah, I'm going to get that project.
Amen.
Yeah, that's the power of keeping in touch. Keep in touch with people.
Amen.
You don't have
Amen.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to send them money. You don't have to send them anything. Just say, "Guy, how are you doing? I'm just checking on you. How is your work going? How are you? How is your mom? I learned she's not feeling very well. Is she okay now?" It doesn't take anything to check on people.
Welcome,
Myself and Ahmed, we check on ourselves. It doesn't take anything to check on people. So one of those ways to even contribute and also build a very strong tech network is to join or contribute to open source projects. You can take an open source project, work on it, modify it, change the name, and make it open source.
Yeah.
Yes, people do it. Do you think Linux is the first operating system that is open source? No, it is Unix, developed by Dennis Ritchie in AT&T Lab. He made it open source. Linus Torvalds took the kernel, modified it, and released it as Linux. And then someone else took it and they released it as Ubuntu.
Yes.
Ubuntu 3 is open source. Someone took it and released it as CentOS. And then somebody takes it and releases it as Kali Linux.
Yes.
Join community of people that thinks like you. If you want to be a good software developer or software engineer, you can't be moving with someone who is in sales. I'm not saying you shouldn't be their friend, but the kind of people you should hang out with are people that are thinking like you, people that are looking in the direction that you want to go, people that are doing things that you want to do. That is the direction you need to move.
That's great.
So let's move on to the next slide. The next slide, embrace failure as part of growth. Embrace failure as part of growth. Let me give you a story. I'm here sitting down, I'm talking plenty, and you think I'm all knowing and all of those things. I've failed multiple times.
Wow.
I have failed a lot of time. Ahmed, you remember there was a time I was working for Finatrade Group of Company.
Of course.
They are around Spintex.
Yes.
Do you know they terminated my appointment? I didn't resign. They terminated my appointment.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
I failed on multiple projects. You and I took up Fixmaster recently. I think about 3, 4, 5.
3 years or 4 years now. We did it.
We did not complete. We did not complete it.
It was
Did
a
we
serious
fail?
mess. Wow.
Yeah, it
We
was
learned
a
a lot.
mess, but we learned
A lot.
a lot from it.
Yes.
That is it.
Don't beat yourself if you are not progressing. Don't beat yourself if you are not getting the desired outcome that you output that you need. Take it as an input and learn from it. When I joined NIT in 2009, NIT, a semester is a quarter, is 3 months.
Yes.
I wrote, there are 10 quarters. That means you need to run 10 exams. I wrote my first exams in 2009. I joined in September, October, November. In November, I wrote my first exam. The next exam I wrote was in 2011. Because right from that point to the day I graduated, I didn't understand anything they were teaching me. When I get home, I'll be crying. Why is it that I don't understand this thing? When I declare a variable, I'm like, where is this variable? Yeah, I just declare a variable and I assign 5 to it. Where is this thing? I was so soaked up in the in the low level integrity of the programming, it derails me entirely from what programming is all about. So the second quarter is JavaScript and fundamental of networking. The third quarter is SQL Server, database management with SQL Server. SQL Server now came. What are functions? What are sub procedure? What is it? What are views? What are tables? What's the column? What's row? I don't even understand it. I was just going to class. I never miss a day in school. I'll sit down in front like this because I'm very short. I'll sit down in front like this. I never understood anything.
Wow.
But I don't bash myself for not understanding all of those things. I just cry and I weep to God. I want to understand this thing. Ahmed, wallahi birabil Kaaba, what I'm telling you is a fact.
Wow. And you know the funny part is that all this while and all this time the joy on your face did not show any of these signs. And
No,
many
you
people
not.
who know you during that time would say, I think Farouk was the one who would always animate NIT and Bluecrest. If you want to know, go and ask. I think we have Nima on the live right now. She can testify of that. Honestly, I learned
Nima,
a lot. Yeah,
really?
yeah. You can check it
You're
out in the
welcome, Nima.
comments.
How are you? It's been a while.
So you see,
Ah,
it is
See,
it is something I learned a
uh,
lot from you. I can't deny it. Like
Ahmed,
always keeping the
Ahmed,
head up.
I feel the lot. I feel the
Inshallah,
lot. I
inshallah.
see, Ahmed. I can tell you that a whole lot of things I've accomplished in this life, I've failed 10 times before accomplishing it.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you that, Ahmed. A lot of people do not know. Ask Jeremiah.
Ah,
I failed on a whole lot of things. I failed on a whole lot of things. When Finatrade Group of Company terminated my contract back then, I shut down my laptop and I said I'm not doing this thing again. I'm not going to be a
wow,
software
wow,
developer
wow,
again.
wow,
I
wow.
just shut down. It was a Dell laptop. I bought it back then in Ghana.
Yeah, I do remember it.
So, well, yeah, but I'll still come to class. I'll laugh with everybody. I pick it up back, and I'm like, man, fuck this. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I don't want to worry about how many times I'm failing. You have to fail once or twice for you to
Hmm.
be a success. You
Wow.
have to fail once or twice. Yes, Muhammad Ali is one of the greatest boxers. Do you want to tell me he's never been defeated?
He
Somebody
is.
has. A lot of people has whooped his ass before.
Of course.
That is it. You need to embrace failure. So I left home in 2010. I left with two clothes, one calendar, my laptop, and a few shoes. So I left to a remote area in Abuja where my uncle stays, and I circle the 30th day of every month that I'm going to write my quarter two exam on this day. I'm going to write my quarter three exam on this day. I'm going to write my quarter four exam on this day. And I bought a lot of coffee. That's why I stopped drinking coffee now, because I've taken it too much that it doesn't have effect on me again. So Ahmed, that
Yeah.
is how I began to read my book. At the end of NIT, I had 100 books because it is 10 books, 10 textbooks for each quarter.
Yeah.
I had 100 books. So at the end of that month, I will go and write my exam. Either I've completed the book or
Or
not.
not.
And I keep passing and I keep passing and I keep passing. So I left with an average.
Interesting.
But got so good when I got to Ghana,
Everything I learned from level 300, which is semester 5, semester 6, semester 7, the difference between what I learned in NIT and Bluecrest is just 20%.
Wow.
Communication skill in English, I did it in the university, I didn't do it in NIT. Entrepreneurship skill, I did it in NIT, I did it in Bluecrest, I didn't do it in NIT. And then project management, I didn't do it in NIT. Those are the only 3 textbooks in Bluecrest that I read. All through my stay in Bluecrest, I didn't read any of their textbooks. Why will I read it? I've already learned for 1 year straight up
Yes.
without break.
Yeah. An
And
advantage.
I left Bluecrest. I left Bluecrest with a first class.
Mashallah.
So you
Wow.
can see. You can see. So the story that you'll be telling tomorrow is not going to be, it's going to be a sweet one if you don't go through the rough terrain. If Ahmed should tell you what he has seen, what he has gone through, sleeping in one hostel and another
Man.
hostel, he doesn't know where the next rent is going to come from. It's
Man.
not easy. Don't let anybody to lie to you that it's going to be easy.
Absolutely.
It's not going to
Absolutely.
be easy. It wasn't easy yesterday. It's not easy today, and it's not going to be easy tomorrow. That is the way we are going to keep moving on.
Yeah. I think
So
that brings
if
us to the first thing you said in your introduction, which is life is not fair. Not yesterday,
yeah,
not
it's not
today, not
fair.
tomorrow.
It's not.
Absolutely.
It's not fair. Don't expect it to be fair.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to be fair. So when you fail at something, do sit back and ask yourself, what did I learn from this thing? You take the lesson and you drop the garbage and you move on. You
Simple.
pick the lesson and you drop the garbage and you move on. Fixed master project, the mistake we did is that we underquoted. We
Indeed.
underquoted.
Yeah.
If you remember, we
Yes.
underquoted.
Even after
And
trying
then,
to revive the price, we still underquoted.
yes, we still underquoted. And
Yes.
then we miss out on the little non-verbal communication that is in their voices for us to have
Yes.
recognized that these are not good people to work with.
Yeah.
We refuse to listen to those things. And then it's now biting us in the ass. So those are the lessons I learned from them. I'm using
Communication.
that and I'm applying it on my subsequent projects.
Sure.
Analyze and understand the cause of your failure.
I think that experience also taught me a lot that I recently used when I'm sure you must remember Mr. Lawrence.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys were
Yes.
together. Yes. So I came with a project like this, and then when it came there, the price wasn't that great. So I'm like, no, I've seen this thing before, and the institution
You
is
see?
one of the
You
government
see?
institutions here, and I'm like, no. Ask Chris to talk to him, and then they should go back and then renegotiate. Even if it doesn't work, at least they
Exactly.
should get a raise a little bit. And indeed, it happened. It worked. Although in
You
the
see?
end, it wasn't that the actual price, but we didn't go with that basic price they came with, and we were able to
Again,
get a raise on top, and that was very, very impressive.
that
Experience
is it.
actually teaches us a lot. Yeah.
You see, Ahmed, you can't remove experience from the equation in anything you do. You've been married a while now, right?
Yeah.
Someone who is just getting married, he wouldn't know what he's gonna meet. But you who are already you are already there. You know what is going on. That is experience.
Ahead.
You see? That is experience. That is experience. So you need to learn from your own experience and you learn from people ahead of you so that you don't repeat similar mistakes that they repeated.
Yes.
The next thing is to take accountability. A lot of us we fall short in this, in all ramifications of life. Take accountability of anything that happened. At work, if we are to present something to the management on Monday and we are not ready by that Monday, I'm going to go to the management and tell them, I accept that I fail you guys in this. I want you guys to give us an extension of 48 hours for us to complete this. They are not going to beat me.
they are not going to cast spell on me or aspersions on me. They
Yeah.
are just going to tell me, man, you guys are not on top of your game. We are very disappointed. Okay, we'll give you 48 hours. They are going to give it to you anyways. They will give it to you.
Yeah.
Be responsible. Take accountability of your actions. Don't blame your actions on anybody. I'm not a very good software developer now because my auntie always send me around when I'm supposed to read. Let me tell you, for me to understand SQL Server and all these SQL jargons, table view, stored procedures, function, user design function, locking transactions, the ACID principle, sharding. All of these things I'm saying are not just a thing you learn in 1 hour.
No, nah,
I will
exactly.
I will leave the room because my auntie raised me. The house is so cozy and comfortable. There's AC in my room and there's bed for me to lay on and the food is there for me to eat. I realize that I keep sleeping off every night when I need to work because AC will be blowing in my brain.
Comfort
So I
is
will
too
take my
much.
yeah, I will take my seats outside of the house. And then we grew up in the north central in Abuja. Abuja is always very cold during the last quarter of the year. My feet will be frozen, my hands will be frozen. I won't be able to feel my hands again because I need to learn this thing. I will sit in that cold weather. I realize I learn better like that. And now that I've learned SQL Server, do you know how much I'm collecting to even normalize your database for you?
Tell
Do
us.
you- that's it. Do you know how much I'm going to charge you to normalize your database
A
for you?
lot.
Or to design? Yes, to design your database and generate a database diagram for your
Yeah.
developers to use. I'm going to charge you heavy for that.
That's
You
of
are not
course.
paying for the job. You are paying for the
For
experience. You
experience.
are not.
Yes.
That is it. Somebody was been broken for 10 years. No engineers has been able to fix it, and the guy charges about $1 million for the job. They sign a check that they're going to give it to the guy if the guy completes it. The guy walk into the engine room, he touches one or two things, he asked them to to pass him something, and then he added one or two things, and then start the engine, and the engine
Everything's
works.
wow.
So the management now said, why should we pay you $1 million for a job you spend less than 3 hours for? He said, you are not paying for the job, you are paying for the
Experience.
experience.
That cost me a lot
Yes,
and a lot of time.
that is it. That
Yeah.
is it. You are paying for the experience. If we have a software project to write on this call, myself and Ahmed, we can sit down and analyze, and in the next 3 hours, you are going to have your design,
Yes.
database design. You are going to know the architecture that you're going to use for the backend job, for the
Yeah.
backend project, the front end, and everything in between.
Yeah.
But I can give the same assignment to you that just left Lance Course Bootcamp, and it's going to take you 6 months to get done.
Yeah. In fact, they even understand the problem in the
That,
first place.
that, that is it.
uh, I think it is something
So,
we usually underestimate as senior developers, like how quick we understand problems. You get it? How quick we
yes,
understand the problems, and then suddenly you just start thinking about the solutions. And
the
for a new
solutions.
learner, it might be looking at you and be like, "Oh, okay, why is it that I can't do it this way? Maybe I might be having some
But
issues." And I was
no,
telling my learners, I think some few
yeah,
days ago, that they should not feel bad if they haven't made any serious progress, because
exactly,
I summarized 10 years plus knowledge into just some few hours or days. So
exactly,
they shouldn't expect like they will be able to achieve the same things I'm doing so quickly. So
exactly,
it is going
exactly,
to take them time to adapt, and that's just a
exactly.
normal thing for human brain. You see, so
Yeah,
it is good you are bringing this, and I'm sure for some of them who are watching here, they are now seeing that, oh, yeah, Mr. Ahmed just said this earlier this week. So
that's it.
yeah.
That's it.
Hmm.
Failure is part of the process, and then once you have that experience, nobody can take it away from you.
Absolutely. I just said it.
Nobody. See,
We become the
nobody can
same.
take it away. That is it.
Hmm.
Nobody can take it away from you. If you
Hmm.
are taken out of Accra and you are being thrown in the remote area in Venezuela, and their government want to develop a software, the brain is there with you. With a
Yes.
paper and a pen, you will do the entire design, schematics, flow, and you give it to them.
Yeah.
The experience remains with
The
you.
same. Nobody can steal
Now,
it.
nobody can steal it.
Hmm.
Now, you now need to apply the knowledge you've learned in the past to the new to the new problem you have at hand.
Hmm.
That is how to apply the lesson that you learn to the new problem. Share your failure with people. It will help you to heal. In a long time, I've not asked anybody to talk to about how much I failed woefully in this field of technology. To a point, you wouldn't believe when I was in Ghana, then I fast Mondays and Thursdays asking God, Rabbi Zidni Ilma, Rabbi Zidni Ilma, God increase me in knowledge.
Hmm. MashaAllah.
I'm telling you the fact, God
Yeah.
increase me in knowledge. This is the path I want to follow.
Hmm.
I speak earlier about your career projection.
Hmm.
Have a roadmap.
Yes.
Write it down. I wanted to join the military after NIT. And they asked me which course am I going to study in the military, Nigerian Defense Academy. I said I'm going to study computer science and electronics. I already know I want to go into the computer line. So
Yeah.
wherever you put me, if you put me in Department of Defense in the United States, I'll be in their IT
In the IT
department.
department, yeah.
If you put me in the CIA, I'll be in the IT department.
Yes.
If you put me in NIA, I'll be in the IT department. If you put me in Ghana Commercial Bank, I'll be handling the IT infrastructure. That is it. I already know the direction at which I want to go. You need to figure out the direction at which you want to go in life.
In fact, that's how
Write
you
it down.
focus. That's how you
That
focus.
is it. That is it. Write it down. Don't look at the movement or don't look at the projection of other friends that you have. This person is already a team lead in Gibia. This guy is already a team lead in what's the name of this Ghana Tel. This one is already a team lead here. You were not born the same day. If you were born
Yeah.
the same day, you are not born the same hour. If you are born the same hour, you are not born the same minute. You have your path to follow and they have their path to follow. Just keep doing your own best within your own corner. And then you are going to get there. Let me tell you the basic things you need to have in life that will never make you fail. The basic things you need to have in life that will never make you fail. Number one is contentment.
Yeah.
You need to be contented with whatever you have.
Absolutely.
Have pride wearing your rags, knowing that someday there's going to be a tailor somewhere that's going to sew suits for you. The second thing after contentment is for you to have integrity.
Absolutely.
When you say you are going to do something, do it. If you're not going to do it, communicate.
Yes.
The third thing is you should know how to communicate. A lot of people have been locked up in jail because they don't know how to communicate.
Serious.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
an altercation that requires a little bit of communication, the two of you just flare up, throw guy now hit you in the head, you now hit them in the head, they now fainted and die, and you wind up in jail.
That is it.
Yeah,
Indeed.
communicate. The fourth thing is accountability. Be accountable for your actions. And then the fifth thing is learn. Don't leave any rock unturned. Learn anything you can learn. Keep learning. I bet you, if you keep doing this thing every day, all day, you are going to wind up in surprising big places you never could have imagined. Let's move forward.
All right.
So, the last part of this presentation is going to be choose a specialty and choosing a specialty or remaining a generalist. You need to decide which part of this technology do you want to focus on. Do you just want to learn WordPress and Joomla and then be fine? Do you want to learn PHP and then be fine? Do you want to be a database guy? Do you want to learn machine learning? Do you want to learn AI? Do you want to learn DevOps? Even in DevOps, do you just want to specialize and be an Ansible person? Do you want to learn cloud? Do you want to be an Azure professional, AWS professional? You need to choose one thing. Either you want to be a specialist or a generalist. Evaluate your interests. Me, I'm interested in a whole lot of things. I'm interested in mentorship.
I'm interested in people management. I'm interested in handling projects, managing expectation, customers' expectation, and management expectation. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in security, ethical hacking and security. So I'm kind of a generalist, but I have my specialty.
That's it.
I think at 99 years of age, I will still be writing code.
I think
I'm telling you.
on that matter, I always consider myself as like I use the programming languages like the way I speak English or French or whatever.
English,
To me, they are just
exactly.
languages that I know they will follow me all the way to my old age. So no matter the time,
That's it.
we'll be doing this.
That's it.
But
That is
let's
it.
look for something else and then keep ourselves active. So that's the thing.
That is it.
Mm.
So look for your interests. Look for your interests. When you discover what your interest is, consider the industry demand of that your interest. Assess your career goals, and then you develop that interest. See, I was reading an article, right, Ahmed?
Nah.
Do you know Microsoft? Oh God, the guy who developed Python.
Yes.
He was working with Microsoft, developing Microsoft. Is it Dropbox? Is it Microsoft that owns Dropbox or
Yeah, it's Microsoft.
something?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
Microsoft
Dropbox. I
Dropbox.
think they bought it somehow, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll check
Uh-huh.
it.
The, the guy was working on it. He was a part of the team that built it. But
Wow.
he has his interest in developing Python.
Wow.
But still, he has to do something to fund the development of Python.
Absolutely.
So on the development of Dropbox, Microsoft employ a specialty, a guy, I can't remember his name. Do you know what this guy's specialty is?
Mm-mm.
You will not be able to guess if I give you time 100 years. This guy's specialty, this guy's specialty is regular expression, regex.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
I'm telling you, Ahmed, you will not believe me. Microsoft employed this guy as a regex specialty guy.
I think it is very scarce to come across or to come to
That
meet
is
such
it.
person. Everybody who learns programming, and whenever it gets to this register, we tend to just sweep on it and
See,
fly quick
if I want to use regex now, I just go to Google,
and go
I
go
find
the exact expression.
I will just put it there because I still cannot comprehend it. Anything in
Indeed.
regex that is more than angle bracket a small letter a to small letter z 0 to 9 capital letter a to guy.
Uh,
I'm out of it.
in one of our videos in our Lance Code and Create project recently, I was talking about the HTML pattern attribute, which
Yeah.
allows us to introduce regex and then pre-validate the fields on the user interface. And
Yeah.
I was like, why would they even come up with that idea here? We
That
have
is it.
always appreciated HTML to be so simple, but
To be
this
simple.
this attribute is actually going to kind of trap us here. But it is interesting. Regex
You
are
see,
lifesavers in serious situations.
ready.
Yeah.
So you need to find your specialty. Do you want to be a Swiss Army knife? This is a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
It has a scissors, it has a bread cutter, it has a knife, it has an opener,
Yeah.
it has a wine opener, it
Yeah.
has everything inside. Or you want to be a specialist. It is left for you to decide. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your time on this call. This is the time for questions and answers.
Yeah.
If you have any, I think Ahmed has a couple of them compiled. Um, the floor is open for you, Ahmed. Ahmed, thank you very much, and then thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much, Farouk. I really appreciate your time, and we really thank you for dedicating this whole 1 hour plus to nourish us with so much information, so much knowledge. I personally have learned so much. I've learned so much. You've known me for so long, and you know when it comes to career, it has always been my big problem, my biggest problem, I would say. And then this actually awakened some of the senses in me, and I believe I'm also going to consider uh, repenting in so many things. Right? And I guess my learners in this in Lance course are also going to learn from that. I will some of the questions are prepared earlier on. You've answered majority of them. So I'll leave the floor to my audience. If they have any questions, they can ask them. So one of the first questions I wanted to ask, you kind of answered part of it at the beginning, which is what actually inspired you to pursue, software development, right? So maybe you can be uh,
Okay,
talking about a bit
let me
about that.
chime in something there. Let
All
me
right.
chime in something there.
Okay.
So, I was introduced to technology, computers, internet,
Yes.
after my secondary school. I left secondary school in 2004 stroke 5. I was very
Okay.
young.
Wow.
So, there's this friend of mine. His name is Ahmed. No,
Okay.
sorry, his name is Mutiu.
Okay.
His elder brother's name is Ahmed. So, whenever I go to their house, they will say they are going to the cyber cafe. What? What is
Wow.
cyber
What is
cafe?
that?
What do you guys do? So I followed them to the cyber cafe one day, and then on their screen, I can see the web pages. There are a lot of images everywhere. I got confused. I'm like, how do you know what to click in this thing? How do you know where you're going to? There's a lot of menu. Everything is just blink blinks everywhere. So I'm like, I'm interested in this thing. What do I have to do next? Someone advised that I go learn desktop publishing and data processing and graphics design. So I contacted one of my aunts and she got a school for me in Lagos, in somewhere they call Jibo in Lagos.
Mm.
It was quite expensive. So I started learning desktop publishing, data processing, and graphics design. I was introduced to CorelDRAW for the first time, Microsoft Word for the first time, PowerPoint, Excel, Access, all of those things for the first time. It was
Mm.
fascinating. I read everything word for word. If you call me on phone and tell me, Farouk, how to watermark a document, I will tell you without looking at the computer.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So I like this thing. I'm liking this thing. Then I started learning how to surf the internet. Then you will buy 1 hour of space for 100 naira, which is
Mm.
what is about 1 CD now.
Yes.
So there was a time I wanted to surf the internet. I don't have money. So a guy, I was standing behind the guy, and the guy's time is almost up, remaining 5 minutes, and he wanted to go, and I'm like, can I
Can
use your
you?
5 minutes?
Yeah.
He said yes. So I now Google how to bypass the Miller software that the cafe is using.
Hacker mindset, right from
Yes.
childhood, right?
So for real, Ahmed. Then I learned how to bypass it. You have to you press the power button, the computer will restart. You press F12, you start the computer in safe mode. You know when you start the computer in safe mode, it
Yeah.
doesn't load. God bless you. It
Yeah.
doesn't load all the
And
drivers.
that
It
cafe
won't load
software then
graphics
was really
drivers.
buggy.
God bless. God bless you. It doesn't load graphics drivers. It
Yeah.
doesn't load, and it doesn't. It just only load the network drivers.
Yes.
Boom! I started browsing for free. Even the cafe guy, when he comes, he will just say safe mode, safe mode. You say, brother, what are you
Why?
clicking on the device? What is this? So they beat